Okay, part two of the Tractor Girl story. Normally, I'd summarize for those of you just joining us, but honestly, there's a lot to unpack in that first part, so maybe hit the video right before this one on our profile first. It'll make a lot more sense. Anyway, Tractor Girl's second day of this trip to the South Pole starts with a wrong turn in Antwerp, Belgium, and she ends up on a 4-lane highway in an open station Deutz with broken flashers that'll maybe do 12 miles an hour on its best day. With traffic screaming by at 75 miles an hour, it's amazing she didn't become a hood ornament. But somehow or another, she manages to get to the next exit. And that's where she meets the Belgian police. And she ends up being detained for about 2.5 weeks while they sort out all this red tape. And meanwhile, the news of this lunatic Dutch girl playing Frogger on a busy highway is kind of starting to travel. Anyway, once they let her go, she takes the scenic route through France and northern Italy, which is all tremendously beautiful. She meets hundreds of, nice people with big hopes and dreams, and it's all very wonderful. Then she gets to the Eastern Europe part. The Balkans, still a beautiful country, but the mood definitely shifted. 10 years prior, genocide and civil war had ravaged that part of the world to the tune of like 140,000 people being killed for nothing more than their heritage and a power struggle. They're broken, hurting nations and citizens who are shell-shocked. She tells a story in one of her TED Talks, which are excellent, by the way, about performing her play in a youth prison in Kosovo. And these kids were convicts. Yes, they'd done some crime, but they were also victims of war. And guards feared the worst, and they'd only let her perform under maximum security. A bubbly actress on an old green tractor talking about dreams in a place like that, that's kind of unheard of. But then when she asked them to write down their hopes and dreams, that room got so quiet you could hear a pin drop. They took it seriously. And the guards did too. Even there, hope was flickering. And despite all the warnings, she made it out of Europe safely and across the Mediterranean to Egypt. And everywhere she went, her big smile and warm personality, was reciprocated. And she was a big hit. So the photos from this part of the journey, there's a handful of them at the blog post at the link in the video description. They're pretty mind-blowing. Rhino encounters, the rainy season in Malawi, waking up to lions napping near the back tire. Pretty amazing. All part of the adventure, too. However, this amazing journey was about to come to a screeching halt when she got to Cape Town, South Africa. See, that's where she was supposed to take a break and re-outfit the tractor for the remainder of the trip, and then the plan was to hitch a ride with an ice-breaking ship down to Antarctica where she could finish. But the ship's plans had changed, and they had to leave about 6 weeks earlier, and they couldn't get a hold of her. So here she is down in Cape Town after 3 years and 8 months, 2 continents, 22 countries, and close to 24,000 miles, with the dreams of thousands of people stuffed in a trunk on the back of the tractor. Now she's stranded. Now what? Come back for part 3. Just went live. We'll start to wrap this one up.